Guardian columnists, student union leaders, Islington dinner party attendees and possibly even some Milton Friedman-loving libertarians may claim that open borders, no nations as the saying goes, is beneficial for economic growth. But is it? Some migration no doubt is, and today the OECD has said that our openness to high-skilled people is beneficial. But we must be certain of the facts that we're dealing with, because Britain has seen an unprecedented level of unskilled and low-skilled migration over the last few decades. And this has been in spite of politicians of all parties promising that immigration would be controlled. It hasn't been. Net migration was at 500,000 last year. And on our current trajectory, our country may be poorer than Poland per person by 2030. Perhaps, as the journalist Sam Ashworth-Hayes has pointed out, there will be complaints in the Polish press in the not-too-near future about British plumbers undercutting the wages of those in Warsaw. A 2018 report from the Migration Advisory Committee estimated that immigrants actually cost the Exchequer £4.3 billion. I quote, "Immigration does not generate the tax receipts needed for migrants to pay their way, let alone to finance the new infrastructure or anything else required by the rapid population growth." And this is important because as you grow the population, as you see in countries with large populations such as China and India, GDP may increase. But the key is GDP per capita. Are you actually richer individually within the nation rather than has the nation's total income grown? What do I mean by this? Well, roughly speaking, GDP per capita in the UK is £33,000. If you have 500,000 people come in who only earn £15,000, on average, the nation would be poorer. And this is why between 2008 and 2020, an increase in the population of 2.5 million people saw a decrease in GDP per capita, meaning on average we were less well off. And that's before you come to infrastructure. Not talking about schools or medical services and such. The 504,000 new migrants that arrived last year, and that's not much short of the population of Manchester, incidentally, would require roughly 170,000 new homes to be built. Now, we must at some point discuss the planning system on this programme because there are serious problems with that. But if you're adding 170,000 extra houses to the total that is required, in addition to those that you need for people in this country who are already here, who can't buy their own home, with a planning system that is dysfunctional, you know that you're not going to have the houses that you need for the population that you've got. And that's a real problem, and it doesn't matter whether the investment for that is coming from the government or whether it's coming from private individuals. Building a new Manchester every year is a Sisyphean task. And we're not alone in realising this. It's absolutely fascinating how things have changed in other European countries who have been taking measures to reduce both legal and illegal migration. Lefty Sweden has suddenly had to tighten its immigration laws after not wanting to have many controls and is even giving repatriation advice and incentives, something I hope we never do here as it happens. Greece has almost done what Donald Trump wanted and built a wall to prevent 260,000 migrants from entering the EU last year. An immigration bill will reach the French Parliament later this month, which wants to speed up the process of removing those denied asylum. And Denmark is thinking of sending people to Rwanda. That sounds familiar. It seems a very good plan because it's something that we're trying in this country. But in Denmark, it's the Social Democrats who are calling for a cap on migration and stated that the price of globalisation, mass immigration and the free movement of labour is paid by the lower classes. And that's the problem, that the poorest are the ones who pay the price of mass migration. Those who are better off are the ones who may benefit from the provision of cheaper services or cheaper hospitality and so on. It's those who are least well off, and I often think of my own constituents who are the least well off, are the ones who are most likely to suffer. The United Kingdom has about 5 million people on out-of-work benefits. Surely our aim should be not short-term increase of migration, but helping those 5 million people so that we can boost our GDP per capita and make everyone in this country better off.